That makes sense. No, that's good. So, anyways, we're gonna start. Thanks, Emmanuel, for that little thing about options. First of all, guys, Happy New Year's, and hopefully you enjoyed the time off if you had some, if you had like some great holidays. So today to start, actually, we're gonna have Emmanuel that is gonna explain us one strategy. It's a strategy that actually like I'm using myself. I find it really super useful. It's based on a technical indicator called the moving average, and it's great because like you can use it for many different investments. So if it's stocks, cryptocurrencies, forex, whatever you want to use, it's a really great indicator. And even just to look at it all the time, it gives you kind of like a good idea of the market. I'm not gonna say too much about it because Emmanuel is going to do so. Emmanuel, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Bryce. Happy New Year, everyone, and thanks again for joining. So, yeah, I'm gonna go right away into it and try to share a little bit about this trading strategy. It's a very simple trading strategy, and you don't really need to be that experienced about trading or anything like that. Once you understand the basic setups and the basic setting of this strategy, it's something that can really help you a lot in your investment journey. So yeah, let's go right away into it. Talking about moving averages. I don't know if you have heard about moving averages, but most of the time you will see them on a platform. When you just open the platform, most of the platforms, they come with it, but if not, you can add them. And what they are actually. Oh, am I sharing? Do you guys see my screen? Not yet?
No, I cannot see your screen.
Okay, shall we just gonna share it right now?
Yeah. By the way, guys, if you have any questions, just maybe write them in the chat, or we're gonna have some time after Emmanuel's talk to ask any questions.
Okay.
I can see your screen
So
now.
can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. So just a little overview of what we're going to talk about. We'll be talking about moving averages. We'll talk about what is a moving average indicator, how to set it up, and how to find good setups when you're trying to trade stocks, specifically. And also at the end, a summary of what we talked about. And at the end, I'm going to give you a bonus about something that can help you in your trading too. So let's dive right into it. In terms of moving average, what the moving average indicator is, if you go on Google, you're gonna get a really like a very special definition of it, but I'm gonna put it in plain words. So a moving average is actually an indicator which indicates it briefly indicates or express the average price movement of a specific number of candles in a line. So it expressed that the movement of the price in a line. For example, I'm just looking at Ethereum right now. You guys see my screen, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
The line below here is what we call the moving average. The line that you see below here is what we call the moving average. And what it is actually, it shows you exactly how the price was moving. So if you see here, the moving average is going with the trend, slowly going up with the trend. And as soon as the trend goes a little bit faster, the moving average gonna go faster. It's gonna take like a position which is actually really following the market price. So how you set it up or how you add it on your chart, just gonna delete this. So how you add it on your chart, depending on what platform you are using. This one is just TradingView. It's a free platform that you can go to trade, to do all your technical analysis for any security, actually. Crypto, forex, or stocks, you can get all of them here on TradingView, and it's a free platform. If you want or if you need, you can get the paid version, but it's a free platform. So you go here, you type your underlying security that you're trying to analyze. I'm going to take, for example, Bitcoin USDT. So BTC USDT. And then you're going to add your indicator. Here, just right here, there is a button to add indicators. So you click there, and then you add your indicator. You type moving average. So moving average, here we are. It's going to bring the moving average line right here. Now you just need to set it up. You double click on it, and then you're going to set it up. The length means the number of candlestick that you want to calculate. And what I mean by candlestick, a candlestick actually is just an expression of price. So this line, this candlestick, this like the candle here in red, this is what we call a candlestick. What this does actually, it shows you where the price opened, what was the lowest price, and where it is right now or where it closed. And this is depending on the time frame. So if you put a 1 hour time frame, this means every candle here shows you what the price or what the security did in 1 hour. If you put it into a daily time frame, that means every candle shows you what the price did on during the day. If you put it in 1 hour, it's going to show you what it did in 1 hour. If you put it in a monthly time frame, it's going to tell you what the price did in the month, in a week, and whatever. So I'm going to go with the 1 hour, 1 day. I usually like the 1 day time frame. Usually better than the smaller ones. Oh, to set up your moving average, what you want to put here is 20 candlestick. What this means is that you want to look at the price, how the price moved in the last 20 candles. So right now I'm using a daily time frame. So this means I'm going to look at how the price moved in the last 20 days. So you add it there, and then you put 20 here on the length. And then in terms of the source, you wanna look at the closing price. If you want, you can look at the opening price. You can look at the high, the low, or the medium price. But what we want to look at, the closing price. So you choose the closing price, and boom, you are good to go. So you add a 20. This is how you add a moving average. I can also show you how to add it on Questrade. This is the Questrade platform. What you do on Questrade platform, you just go on chart and then tools. No, sorry. You go on studies, and then trending indicators. And then you're going to see moving average. And here it is, the moving average. You double click on it. You're going to be able to set up your settings. So you see the period here is the same thing as the length. So you want to put 20. And then you want to put the close, which is the closing price. And SMA means simple moving average. You can put an exponential moving average. You can put with moving average, but what we want is a simple moving average. So you want to put the simple moving average 20 as the period or the length, and you want to use the closing price. When you click, and here is your moving average. Here it is. Now, that's how you set it up. But what I use most of the time, I use two moving averages. Why do I use two moving averages? Is because the price usually the price, there is like one moving average which shows you how the price moved recently. So like 20 days is like, it's very recent, in 20 days or in 20 hours or in 20 depending on the time frame, so in the last 20 candlesticks. But another thing that you can consider, or another thing that you should consider, is the long, like a long view, or so you wanna see a long-term idea of what the price has been doing or what the price is gonna be doing. So what I do in order to see a long-term vision or a long-term perspective of what the price is gonna be doing, I add an additional moving average for 50 candlesticks. So I'm just gonna go back to this chart, the Bitcoin one, and I'm gonna add another moving average for 50. Here it is. Just gonna edit it, sorry, to 50. All right. So what this does, it gives you an idea of what the price did in the last 50 candles. So what I usually do is I look at the movement of the price from the 20 moving average. And from that 20 moving average, it's going to tell you how strong the trend is. If you see that the 20 moving average is way above the 50, that means the market has been moving very fast, faster than the last 50 days. So as you can see, for example, for Bitcoin, you see here how the 20 moving average, which is this blue one, is way above the 50 moving average. Means in the last 20 days, crypto or Bitcoin has been moving a little bit faster than what it was doing in the last 50 days. Now, one of the strategies that you can use this moving average now is that, as you always know, every time, for every pull or for every push, there must be a pullback. So for every time a market is in a trend, whether it is a downtrend or an uptrend, there will always be a pullback. So for example, just using the same example of Bitcoin, right now we are seeing how Bitcoin has been going up so fast. What you want to look for is for a pullback, for you to either get in the market if you were not in yet, or to reinforce your position if you were already in. And what will tell you when to get in again, or when is the pullback? What you're gonna do is wait at the 20 moving average. You're gonna wait for the price to come at the 20 moving average. As soon as it hit that 20 moving average, that tells you already that the pullback has been completed. So you can either get in at that price and then wait for it to continue the movement. If the price breaks the 20 moving average, what you can do is to wait for the price at the 50 moving average. And most of the time, if it breaks the moving average, the 20 moving average, it's gonna go to the 50 moving average and then go back up. Unless it's actually a reversal. When it's a reversal, then it will completely break the 20 and the 50 and go all the way back. As you can see from this example, for this one, for example, let me just try to use other example. This is a Bitcoin, as you saw. As you can see, it just hit the 20 and it's going up. It's going up right now. I'm not sure if this is confirmed yet. We haven't closed the candle yet, but it looks like it's already going back up. We're going to use another example of a stock. Let me just try to find one. Okay, let's use Tesla. Okay, here is Tesla. So what we can see here on Tesla is pretty much the same thing. I'm just gonna go a little bit back here. So as you see here, this was in April. The market was going up, going up, going up. Here it was a little bit in a consolidation. Then the market was going up. So it was up here to 200. It pulled back to the moving average to 179. As soon as it got to the 20 moving average, it went back up again and then consolidated a little bit. And then it went all the way up again. After it reached to 350, it pulled back again to the moving average, the 20 moving average. And then it kind of broke the 20 moving average. It went a little bit lower, but it didn't reach the 50. It just stopped in the middle and went all the way up again. And that's pretty much what happened again here. When it reached 500, it pulled back down to the 20 moving average, but it broke the 20 moving average, went all the way down to the 50 moving average, and then pulled back up. And then it went back up again. Same thing, same thing. Last time, that's what was happening. When it broke this level here, it went all the way up to 683 and then pulled back to the 20 moving average at 616 and then pushed back up to 873. And now we can, as you can see here, there is a little bit of a pull down here. What we can wait for is for it to come back a little bit to the moving average again, and you can add your position. So that's one of the strategies that you can actually use to trade the moving average. And one of the things that you want to make sure of is to make sure the 20 moving average is above the 50 moving average and the price is above the moving averages. So if the price is above the moving averages, the 20 moving average is above the 50 moving average, that tells you that we are in an uptrend. I mean, you can see, of course, that we are in an uptrend, but you need to confirm that too. And if you see that the price is moving within the moving averages, this should tell you that the price is in a consolidation. You don't want to trade this consolidation because you don't know what's going to happen after consolidation. Most of the time, I highly encourage people to wait for the breakout to get in the market if the market is in a consolidation. Because in a consolidation, you don't know what's going to happen after that. It's just like a price that everybody is waiting for a movement to get in. And when the price is in a downtrend, I'm just going to try to get an example of a downtrend here. Let's use Air Canada. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to take an example in March with Air Canada. When the market crashed a little bit, if you guys see my screen, right? I hope you guys see everything. So right here in January 2020, that's when the price actually crossed the moving average for Air Canada. For people who are trading with this strategy, this is where or when they should have get out of Air Canada before it even crashed. So it was at 50. It broke the moving average at 49 and stayed below the moving average, consolidated a little bit at 46, 44. And then after that, it confirmed the reversal and went all the way down to $12. So if you see something like this, the price breaks the moving average. It breaks in an opposite direction of the moving average. And then another thing is that when we are changing direction, or when it is time for reversal, you're gonna see that the 20 moving average gonna be below the 50 moving average now. If the 20 moving average is turning below the 50 moving average, that tells you that we are reversing. And yeah, the same thing happened. If you are in a downtrend and the 20 moving average goes above the 50, that means we are also reversing into an uptrend. If you were in an uptrend and they're reversing the other way, then we are going the other way. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened in January. And then in March, what happened, or in February actually, Air Canada crashed down, boom, 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 all the way down. So if you're using a strategy, if you're using this strategy, this indicator, the moving average, it should definitely help you a lot. When you see when you are just looking at your stock, you see how the price is moving with the moving average. What you want to see, if you want to reinforce your position, you want to wait for the price to come to the 20 moving average and then reinforce your position or get in the market if you're not in yet. And if the price breaks the moving average 20, you can wait for it at a 50 moving average. But if it breaks the 50 moving average too, then understand that we are ready for a reversal. It may be a potential reversal. You just need to wait for some confirmation before you get in. Now, another thing. Yeah.
One thing, there is a question. If you can actually look at Hexo, it's
Okay.
yeah, the symbol Hexo.
Hexo. The Corp. Okay. All right. Here is Hexo. So just looking at this one. So from this one, what I can mention here. First of all, the first thing that you want that I see here from this Hexo, I don't know a lot about this company, but what I can see is that I see that there is a support level right here where it is right now. There is a support level right here. Let me just draw something to show it to you guys. Right here. You see that the price, every time the stock or the price came to this $5, it has been bouncing and going back, bouncing and going back. So once you know this, or if you were if you saw this company before, you would wait for it around here, right here. So yeah, around here, this is where it showed the first move of an uptrend, and then it pulled back a little bit to the 20, and then it went a little bit to the 50, but now it went all the way up to that support level, and this looks like it might be a good breakout. If it breaks this level, this might go up. I'm just gonna look at another indicator. So most of the time when I see a stock, or when I see a chart that is a little bit in some conflict like this, like it's actually a consolidation, but a really broad consolidation. So you can still trade this consolidation, but it's kind of broad. So I'm just gonna try to confirm if this is gonna be a breakout. I'm gonna add another indicator here, RSI, which is the relative strength indicator. This also tells you a little bit about the move of the market. Okay, yeah. The RSI tells me a little bit that this might be a breakout. This might be a breakout soon, but I will still wait for a confirmation. why do I say that this tells me a little bit about the breakout is because I can see I can see some divergence on the RSI. So what I mean by divergence on the RSI, this is literally a little bit away from what we were talking about, the moving average, but just to give you a perspective of what I see. So you can see here that the price is kind of at the same level right here. This first top here and where the price is right now, it's kind of the same level. But if you look at the RSI, it is diverging. This top here is not the same top as here. So it's kind of diverging, which means the power that was here, or the strength that was here, the buying strength that was here, is not the same buying strength that is here right now. And what this means, especially since this level has been hit multiple times, this is going to be like the fourth time. This means there are a little bit more investors who are accumulating around. They accumulate around here. A lot of investors here with the relative strength indicator. It tells you how many or how powerful the move was. So here we had a really strong,
Emmanuel,
which means people are either staying away or waiting for that. Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think your microphone is cutting a little bit, or yeah, your Wi-Fi. Just want to add something.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I just want to add something about EXO actually. So now, for instance, I don't know, Emmanuel, if you can still show the chart on your screen. Yeah, so one thing I would also do, so according to what we just saw with the moving average, is now like we can see that the market is actually reversing. So looking at like the last days, like, or the last months, you see that there is kind of the market is just bouncing up and down, right? Or just staying at the same level. So I wouldn't necessarily like use the moving average at that time, especially, but more once the market starts trending. A good way to actually see if the market is in a reversal pattern would be to go and put the monthly, if you put the monthly chart or like the weekly chart instead of like the daily. So you can always take a look at like a bigger one, right? To just have an idea of the biggest picture. And then you can see clearly that like it's kind of staying at the same level. So I would wait for like for the market to reverse. And from there, the next time it's going to bounce, then we can see that the trend is actually starting.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, thank you very much for mentioning that, Bryce. That's a very important thing to keep in mind. The moving average is usually used for a trend. So when the market is already in a trend, you know that the market is going up or it is going down. So the moving average will tell you, okay, this market is going up, but this is just a little pullback. You can add the position or you can get in now. You can get in too. That's what the moving average tells you, but it will not tell you a breakout. That's one of the reasons why I used the support and resistance here, and I even brought another indicator to help me figure out what's going on here. Because this one was a kind of a consolidation. Look at the price was literally moving average. This is a consolidation, and you don't want to use the moving average to trade here. But what is already confirmed, it's going to help you to figure out when to get in and when to maybe take profit. What we talked about, I'm going to summarize it in a few words. Let me just go right here. I didn't finish, but there is another thing that I'm just going to try to mention for you guys. Another way that you can actually use, one of the ways that you can use close to the moving average or stocks that are
So yeah, Emmanuel, sorry, your
actually going up.
Wi-Fi
And
is
when you go to
Wi-Fi is still getting a little bit.
technical analysis,
All right, so what I'm
oh,
gonna do, yeah, Emmanuel, what I'm gonna,
you guys can hear me?
I can hear you. So what I'm gonna do, I know what you want to show, so I can show it. There is actually a question. Are you able to stop presenting? I'm gonna like take over and go on Finviz.
Okay.
Um, yeah, there is, I think one question that
Yeah.
someone
Okay,
raised their
perfect.
hand, but I cannot see it. If yeah, if you guys have a question, please share it
Somebody.
in the chat. All right, I'm just gonna open my Finviz here. So can you see my screen, Emmanuel? All right. So I assume that yeah, it's working.
Yeah, it's coming.
All right, great. So here is Finviz, and I'm just gonna go to basically once you go on
Hmm.
finviz.com. It's a good way for actually if you want to like find stocks according to the strategy that Emmanuel just presented. So sorry about that. So one thing I do often is that I go on Screener, and on the Screener you can basically find stocks according to different strategies. So the strategies you have a fundamental analysis, you also have technical analysis or other descriptive things that you want to put for your stocks. So for instance, you can go directly into the technical because moving average it's a technical tool, technical analysis tool. And here, Emmanuel was mentioning the 20-day moving average and the 50 moving average. So if let's say I'm going all on the 20-day moving average, I can simply go and say SMA above SMA 50, SMA for simple moving average. And here I basically have all of the list of stocks that is
Hmm.
having that filter. After that, if I want, I can also add more. So, for instance, I was mentioning looking at EXO, that it's great to see the if it's already trending, right? So let's say here I can go into like the 200-day moving average and just say that at least I want the SMA 50 to be above this one. So SMA 200, that would be below SMA 50. And then I can see that at least the stock is trending up, right? And looking at this one, I would do actually the same thing. So SMA, this one is 50, below SMA 20. And sorry, for this one, SMA 20, I'm going to go for the price above SMA 20. Or if I want, I can even like go stronger. So I can put the price 20% or above SMA 20. So then I have stocks that are really like trendy. Usually, like here, we can see some just like an idea of the charts that you're looking at. So usually, it's always great if you want to add some like other filters based on like industry, but also market cap. So you can have like really big companies. If you want to go for small companies, you can play with that. But at the end, you see basically everything that is corresponding, right? So for instance, you look at this one and you see that the chart is trending. So eventually there's going to have a pullback to the SMA 20, as Emmanuel was mentioning, which is a really, really great tool. So that's mostly it for FinViz. Let me go back. I'm going to stop presenting. I guess it's mostly that for now. Sorry, I have to cut it short a little bit just because of like the Wi-Fi issue. So, but one thing I would like, I don't know if you guys have any questions about it, about the strategy. Any questions to Emmanuel or so one thing I will do is that I have, sorry about that. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna share with you guys just It's a little survey. Just basically, it helps to know how did you find the meeting and stuff, if it was useful to you. If you have also any personal questions or something for Emmanuel, so he can probably answer them in the future. And the last thing I would like to add is that also now we're going to start having meetings every second Wednesdays, or yeah, basically like twice a month. We're going to have meetings about crypto, especially because as you saw during holidays, the Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrencies went up really, really high, right? So it's also like a great investment to look at. So I think that it's really important for us to know about it. So that's why there is Ashley in our group that is going to host a meeting. I'm going to share the link of the next meeting. So for the next meeting, basically, she's going to tell us how to start, how to create an account, and like how do you buy Bitcoin so you can take advantage of the trend and just start investing into Bitcoin. So it's also a great time if you have any questions for her. She's going to be able to answer all of your questions. All right. So thanks, Emmanuel. Thanks for that. If you have any questions about the moving average, please just ask it in the WhatsApp group. We can answer them, or Emmanuel can answer. And yeah, please, if you can just answer the survey, that would be awesome. And hopefully I'm going to see you next Wednesday. Yeah. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, for
Well, I
coming
missed a good
again.
portion of it, but I do look forward to seeing the replay. Are we able to see the replay of it?
Yeah. So it's recorded, and I'm going to share it probably tomorrow or this week. So yeah, I'm going to be able to see it.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
All right.